Gloria, first of all, I wanted to thank you for your time. I know you're a busy lady. I know that you sell a lot of real estate here in Central Florida, so thank you for your time here today. I really, really greatly appreciate it. Listen, I wanted to, for our customer base, wanted to share with them what the experience of real estate is like, what it's like to buy and sell homes. And you know, I actually have an interest in real estate myself. I've always been really interested in becoming an agent. So I'm curious to kind of, for us to talk about what it's like to be a realtor and what it's like to buy and sell in Central Florida. So first, let me ask you, how'd you get into this business? What led you here?
It took me 35, 40 years to find it, but once I found it, it is my niche. Early on, I had another career. I was a systems analyst. But when I came near to the end of that career, I wanted to do something else. I'm not the one to just sit at home and retire. I didn't want to do that. So just before retirement, I thought about, really gave it a lot of thought, and I felt like that was my niche, my calling, was into real estate, to help the latest generation get the American dream of home ownership. And so that's how I got into real estate. I went to real estate school, took the test, voila, passed it. So I started my career, and I have not turned back since. I love it, every day of it.
Now, you know, passing the test, it's a lot more than just that, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, I'm interested in, like I said, I'm interested in this profession. And you've been an agent for a long time, haven't you?
9 years.
9 years now. So you know what you're doing.
Yes.
You know, we kind of pulled a bio on you, and we see you close a lot of transactions every year.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to do it all? How are you? I mean, you're a powerhouse in Central Florida. How are you able to close so many buying and selling deals?
Probably the best answer for that is because I have a passion for it. I really love what I do, and some things that the younger agents might have to pull them off might be younger children. All of my children are adults, so they're not demanding my time. My husband spends his time on the golf course, so he's not looking for me. So I have that time to give to my customers, my buyers and sellers, and I just throw myself into it and just become passionate with it and with compassion with my buyers and sellers. And that's how I find the time. It's because I really, really, really want to do it, and I have help.
So you mean that? You really enjoy this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know what I'd rather be doing. I know it's a lot of work, and anybody that's ever dealt with a realtor knows that there's a lot that has to be put into this profession, but it's so very, very, very rewarding when you hand that person those keys to their new home. It's a certain reward in it. I get a high off of it because it means that I have helped somebody to accomplish something that I feel like they could not have accomplished as well if it had been with someone else. They're going to get all of me. And I feel like that, you know, I feel all of that passion when I finish a deal.
That's awesome, man. You got me excited just sitting there. So, getting specific, you know, let's say I'm new to this area and I need to buy a home. I've never bought a home before. What's the process like? What can I expect? And is there like an order of things that I need to do and take into consideration? What would your advice be if I just walked in the door and sat down and said I want to buy a home, but I have no idea what I'm doing? Where do we go from there?
Yeah, well, I think the first bit of information that I would give you, or guidance is a better word, that I would give you would be that you needed to find financing. And I would, because most people, when they get ready to look for a house, they have no idea about how much a house would cost, $250,000, $300,000, but they do know how much money they can afford to spend per month because they've planned that out, and they know that they need to spend no more than $1,100 or $1,500 a month. And so they would need to get with a finance person, one that they could trust, maybe one that I work with, or a bank that they bank at, or something like that, in order to find out how much house they can buy and come out with spending their budgeted amount per month, because that's what that would be all about. And then once we got that established, then I would say it depends on what you're going to do. Next 5 next 10 years? Are you planning on staying in this house forever? Are you somebody that retired and you're moving into this house and you're going to stay here till they drag you out, will they kick you out feet first? Or are you young, just got married, and you're going to have a family down the road somewhere? Maybe you've got it planned out 5, maybe 10 years. So if that's the case, if that would be the case, you would have to take any of that into consideration. If it's children, you'd have to look at the school systems. And so you would need to do that. After that, you'd have to think about things that are important to you, like, would you want to be downtown where the clubs, the nightclubs and the eateries are downtown in the singles type atmosphere? Are you a newlywed? You maybe want a 2-bedroom house, but you got to think about down the line if you're going to have children. And then in that case, you would want to look at somewhere that has good schools. It's just what all is important to you. If you're a retiree, then maybe you just want a safe neighborhood. You don't care about amenities or anything like that. You just want somewhere where you're going to be safe. So that would be the consideration that you would have if you were new in town and looking for a house, and I could help you do all that.
So, I really didn't think about how much I really need to take into consideration. I was just kind of thinking about, what would be a comfortable space, but I see forward thinking, future thinking is probably a pretty important deal in buying.
Yeah, I would say to effective buying, that is the most important thing. If not, you're going to buy a house and hate it. Or you're going to sell your house and then months down the road, you're going to regret that you sold it. So forethought. And of course, with that, talking to a realtor can help you think out those things. And if you need to talk to a realtor, I'm the one.
I see that.